Hey there, Leo. I hope you guys are doing well. I apologize for this delay. I intended to get these readings out a little bit earlier this month, but I had some emergency dental stuff to deal with, so that was fun. Either way, we're here now to do this. And so this is the month of October 2024 at a glance. This is going to be going through the weeks here, but also I'm incorporating astrology that's being presented in the month as well. So just to touch on some of that astrology here, we have throughout the month, all through the month, we've got Cancer, or Mars is in Cancer, my apologies. And this is going to be affecting your 12th house of private matters. This is associated with the past, unseen opportunities, secret endeavors, secret connections, secrets in general. This can offer opportunities here where it's like we can start to purge things from our past. And this can be situations regarding old business, things that we've wanted to release. This can be people in our lives. This can also be a bit of a challenge just because this can kind of put into focus the narrative that we've told about ourselves for so long. I'm this way because this thing happened to me, or because my great grandfather da 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 da, somehow that affects me now. And so it's kind of like taking ownership of the narrative and of the stories that we kind of put out there that kind of foreshadow our lives, and so we get to take that power back. We get to rewrite that story, that narrative, that, association to who we are, because those things may have happened. This isn't to invalidate or to minimize what you've gone through, but it is a point and a turning point where it's like you can take those stories and you can create a different narrative. You can rewrite your book, your path, your direction here. What have you learned from those experiences? Are you a victim of those experiences, or have those experiences given you bodies of work to mold your life from in different ways, to heal, to readdress and assess, and to navigate yourself in different ways? It's seeing things as a sense of empowerment rather than victimhood. So just be mindful to be the victor, not the victim, and to rewrite your energy and your story, especially when it comes to new collaborations, new people, new associations. Who are you? What do you represent? Like, what about you do people want to know? Is it a sob story? Is it a sad story? Is it hopeful? Is it open to, you know, interpretation? What is it? So just be aware that these stories and these stuck, limited ways of seeing ourselves and believing in ourselves are being shaken free. Okay, so Mars in Cancer is going to do a good job of that for us, and it's asking for us to just kind of, push it along by rewriting our story. And so I'm also going to go and hit on some of the past things that we are dealing with because I am late. We'll go ahead and get into the 2nd of October, which is long gone by now. Today is the 15th of October, so I'm doing this two weeks late. But the 2nd of October, that was basically giving us a new moon and solar eclipse, and this is going to affect your 3rd house of commitments, of collaborations and contracts, networking with other people. And it's something where it's like you may be getting a considerable amount of recognition through your work efforts, your collaborations, the people that you're connecting with, and the projects that you're getting underway with folks. This can also lead to a lot of public attention. This can talk about like people referring you to the right people for the right job. This is going to affect your profession and your social life. And be ready for your life to become very active, and be ready to actually roll your sleeves up and engage in busy pursuits, because this energy is very supportive of that, and it's going to ask you to just engage and kind of like throw yourself in. But positive results are going to be part of that, and that's part of this first week. Um, I do want to say here for the first week, and just to hit on some of this here, you have a very interesting month ahead, Leo. I feel it's full of turns and twists and collaborations and situations of healing and of vulnerability that are going to kind of reestablish things, put things to rest. Like it's all over the place for you this month. So um, let's look at this energy here. This is your Oracle card from the Wisdom of the Oracle deck. It's called Co-Create. This energy, it's massively connected to creativity, creative pursuits, art, inspiration. This talks about manifesting. It talks about giving birth to opportunities that are born of your creative spark, your life force. Okay. It is also connecting with people and building upon these relationships in the best possible ways. This is collaboration to the umpteenth degree. Okay. So that is supportive throughout this month entirely. During this first week, you have the Ten of Cups. It's upright, okay? It's being clarified by the Six of Cups in reverse. I will say that this card is the Ten of Cups. It is in reverse, all right? So this is kind of why I'm talking about maybe we need to reestablish, patch up, reconsider, apologize, take accountability for, situations that we may have had a hand in that may have gone awry, or situations where we may have just dipped out, situations where people that we love, the connections that we hold close, the people that we see in our life as family, maybe there's a rift, maybe there's some pain, maybe there's some discomfort here. This is generally going to talk about the people closest to you, even if they're not blood related. These are soul families, the connections that you hold closely, trustworthy relationships. It feels here that there's some sort of element of things being off, things not being honored, things being kind of, in this nebulous space. It's like, it's kind of also giving like, runner vibes, if you know what that means. Like runner vibes is like when we don't want to address something or when we become avoidant to something, it's like we drop a situation and we just kind of leave it lingering. That needs to be cleared up here, Leo, for the benefit of you, but also for the benefit of the connection. Because if you don't, it feels like you're missing out on a connection through avoidance, through not being accountable, and I feel here in the second week, the sun, this is solar deity, the sun, this is going to highlight all of the BS. So I would say just kind of prepare for things to get a little sticky if we don't take accountability or if we don't hold people to accountability, okay? So that first week here, Leo, it's saying, don't forget about these people. Don't forget to make amends because there may be opportunities that you might miss out on if you don't do anything about it. If you leave people or if you leave situations that need to be cleared up and like loose ends need to be fixed, pay attention to that. Give that your attention because all it's going to do if you don't do that is it's going to cause you to miss out on beautiful opportunities with people who love you, people who care about you, people who are good for you and are supposed to be in your life. It's asking for you to mend this energy, and even if you are not at fault, if you want to initiate a conversation, there's nothing wrong with that. Let go of your ego and open your mouth because it also offers you an opportunity to have either closure or to poke and prod somebody to the point where they're like, okay, yeah, I'm really sorry about this. And I'm sorry that it went this way. State how you want things to go. State your value in a situation or a person, let them know what that means to you and how something may have pained you, maybe somebody will be accountable. If not, where to redirect your energies. Moving into the second week here, like I said, we have the sun, okay, and we have it clarified by the Seven of Swords. Seven of Swords is kind of frustrating energy because it talks about deceptive dealings. It talks about lies. It talks about people who run, where their authenticity is required, they're nowhere to be found. They don't own up to their problems. They don't own up to the issues that they create, and so they bolt. Here in the second week, you know, um, that's being very much on blast. All right. And so in this second week on October 9th, you have Jupiter going retrograde in Gemini. And this is going to be in your 11th house of community, of your friendships, of your support systems. If there's been issues with that, it's going to hold a big hot flame to that. It's like a magnifying glass under the sun, you know? So this is going to be a situation to make amends, to apologize, to reestablish your connections, your relationships. On a different note, this can also talk about different job ideas or forgotten goals where it's like we didn't see the value in them, or maybe we walked away from something because we were afraid to address it. We didn't feel up to snuff, or we didn't feel like we had the qualifications for it, and we denied ourselves the opportunity by tucking tail and running. Here, it's like, oh, actually, maybe I can re-engage that. Maybe I can reassess and reestablish that, you know. Um, it's asking you to once again roll up your sleeves and put in the time and effort, because when you do that, there's beautiful things that can happen. On October 11th, we have Pluto going direct in Capricorn, which is going to be affecting your sixth house of work, your schedules, your routines, your lifestyle. This can also initiate some considerable endings regarding, old business agreements, outdated professional paths, things that you've kind of just been doing and drudging along that, either are not feeding you, they're not supportive of you, or they're just flat out dull and you're tired of them. This energy, it's going to say, what do I want in this area of my life? What do I want in my forward movement and energy in my future? And like, you have to claim it, but you also have to like purge those energies. So don't be afraid to make cuts. Don't be afraid to roll your sleeves up and do the work so something new can take shape in your life. And so, yeah, there's a lot going on there. On the 17th of October, we have a full moon in Aries. This is 2 days away from when I'm reading this reading right now, when I'm doing this reading right now. So on the 17th, full moon in Aries, this is going to be affecting your ninth house of travel, of financial opportunities, of potential government matters, legal matters. This energy can support long distance connections, or bringing connections from our past, or like at afar back into focus, and it can allow a lot of support and nurturance. Where we put the nurturance towards, things will grow, things will blossom and bloom. Or if they've been kind of put on hiatus or like kind of forgotten about, it's talking about readdressing things. This is also Mars rules Aries, and this can be a very forceful energy. So, like, there may, again, this kind of like feeling of the sun on a magnifying glass, like burning holes into what needs to be addressed, especially when it comes to people of our past, or especially when it comes to like reestablishing relationships or taking relationships to the next level. In this third week here, we have the Queen of Cups, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio energy, and it's being clarified by the Five of Pentacles. I feel in this third week, there's an element of kind of coming out of the cold with somebody that we actually really love. We actually care about them very deeply, and for whatever reason, we either cut and run, we bolted, we avoided, we left a situation in the cold. Here, it's like we're trying to come out of the cold. Here, we're trying to heal a situation. Here, we may not want to allow this to linger and to stagnate any further, because this connection can be something really beautiful that we can co-create with. So it's like, whether that be in a connection of love, whether that be in a connection of creativity or, musical pursuits, like art pursuits, whatever it is, either way, it's connecting you to a person that is very important in your life, that you both have a deep amount of love for each other, but for whatever reason or another, a disconnect happened. There's a lot of disconnect and like patching things together again throughout your month here, Leo. Um, so just be aware of that. Be aware of that. Clear and honest communication can heal so many things, but it requires us to be authentic. It requires us to stand in our truth and to be vulnerable with the negative and uncomfortable associations that come with, making reparations and being honest about why we did what we did, and whatever happened for a reason. But here we are, reclaiming and not avoiding, and being open to change and open to possibilities of beautiful connections and love and emotional support and tender-hearted, empathetic, like loving connections, right? Doesn't have to be romantic, but it can be, but it doesn't have to be. These are just people that love us dearly because they see right through us, and that may have been part of the problem. Sometimes when people can see through us, it's hard to deal with those people because they shine lights on the parts of us that are uncomfortable, that require vulnerability and time to address and assess. And sometimes when this Queen of Cups energy shows up, they're like, oh, I see that clearly. Can't you? Oh, no, 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 no. You're shining too much light on things that I didn't want to see, that I don't want to see. I don't want to know about them. It's the magnifying glass under the sun effect. But it really comes through a lens of wanting to support, wanting to see you emotionally grow and connect with yourself in deeper and more meaningful, integrated ways, right? So trust that this person has your back. Even if you did run, maybe they don't want to get together again, but at least we made the effort to patch something up. At least we made the effort to care. Moving into the fourth week here, we have the Five of Cups and the Three of Cups energy. Add them together. It is the Eight of Cups. So this can talk about, again, situations that we may have like either left or didn't want to deal with. So we kind of had this, decision to move on in a different way. This is influenced in a lot of ways within vulnerability here, Leo. This is asking us to be vulnerable about our emotions, our feelings, our underbelly. It's asking for us to see the love that is actually truly there, versus the fears that caused us to run from situations. This is reestablishing connections. This is reconciling with people who we love, there where there is still love that is viable and accessible. Reclaim it, make it a priority. Okay, in this last part of the month as well, you have Mercury. It's moving into Scorpio, which is in your fourth house of home, your living situations and family. This is highlighting positive relationships and ideal living situations, ideal living arrangements. So some of you may have a new addition in your house. Some of you may be becoming a new addition in someone's house. If that's not the case, it's kind of repatching situations with people, with family, with the closest ones to us that feel like home, in our lives. Also, during the second half of this month, Venus is also going into Sagittarius, which is related to your fifth house of romance, of love, of your connections that are the closest relationships to you. It talks about parenthood and children, and it talks about creativity. There's a lot of creativity in this whole reading that's kind of being like urged to pay attention to. Okay, this energy is bringing more affection into your life, and with the bonds that you are either reestablishing or the established bonds in your life, it's deepening the bonds with those loved ones. It's bringing you a deeper sense of connection and love and support, whether it be romantic or otherwise. It's a deepening and a structuring or restructuring, an elevation in those connections here. So I feel that's going to mean a lot to you if you are able to reconnect with people. Again, it doesn't have to be romantic, but it's truly like looking at situations that may have just been like walked away from, so we can salvage them, or we can salvage the relationship itself. It doesn't mean that we have to salvage the project that we were involved in, but the person associated with it, or the person that is, connected to that, they have importance in our lives. So it's saying, do what you can to create and co-create with the people in your lives that you love. Do what you can to heal any issues with people. Do what you can to embrace the love that is readily available to you, and do what you can to be vulnerable when it comes to authenticity and how you may have played a part in some, you know, frustrating and childish behavior that really may have cost you good people. All right. So that's what I have for you. I hope that this reading is helpful. Feel free to like, share, subscribe, and I'll talk to you later. Take care, Leo. Bye bye.